Hey mini enthusiasts, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all well and I hope you're having a great day. So today we're back on the project Racing Green, and boy have I got some really exciting bits to share with you. But first off, just a word of caution. I thought I'd mention this. So if you know me, if you watch the channel, I get through lots of brake cleaner. I use it for all sorts of things, and typically the brake cleaner I use, I buy on eBay, I buy it at sort of 10-15 litres at a time. It's this Polyguard brake and clutch cleaner. It's absolutely brilliant. I use it in a Worth solvent sprayer and it's fantastic. Now I don't quite know what's gone on, but the price of that brake cleaner has pretty much doubled. So I don't know whether they source it from Ukraine or something like that, but for some reason, the price of brake cleaner's gone through the roof. So I've done some searching and I managed to find this brake cleaner. It's made by a company called Manol. First off, so it's in a metal can. It's got a really stupid filler on the top. In fact, there is no sort of lid. That's the lid. And when you try and pour it, it just goes everywhere unless you like insert a funnel down inside. It says it doesn't leave any residue, but it does. And the most important thing is, and maybe this is a bit of a mistake by me, maybe I should have read a little bit closer, it's got lots of acetone in it. And the acetone basically, well, it does something to the plastic inside the pressure sprayer. So I put brake cleaner in two of my Worth pressure sprayers that I've had for a long time, and it wrecked both of them. Now these are 20 quid a pop, even maybe a little bit more at some places. So just a word of warning, don't go cheap. I'd avoid this type of brake cleaner with acetone in it if you are putting it in a pump sprayer. Right, anyway, word of warning over. Now, like I said, I've got some really exciting stuff to share you, just bits, or share with you, bits I've been collecting for the Racing Green. So we're going to do some work on the Racing Green today. We're going to have a look at the floor pans inside, going to get all the carpets out, look at some areas which are not so great in the car, and as we go into the videos I'll explain more. But I have just been buying bits and bobs. So the first bit I've bought is just a bit of memorabilia really. So one of the subscribers contacted me, a guy called Roger. Thanks Roger. And he pointed out this Auto Car and Motor magazine from 1989, which has a feature on the Racing Green in it. I will try and put some close-ups in here, but it's got a fantastic article. In fact, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4-page spread, all about the Racing Green, all about the John Cooper conversions that they've done on the Racing Green and the Flame Red back in the late 80s, early 90s. It's also got a lovely little article in the on the ERA. They're both quite famous articles, these. One is the Little Red Devil, very familiar with that, and this article on the Racing Green with the John Cooper conversion was named Return of the White Roof. It's a really nice read, but I just think it's really cool to have some memorabilia from the car, from its era. I also managed to get hold of, this is actually fantastic condition. I've got one of the original brochures for the Flame Red, Checkmate and Racing Green. Again, this is lovely and clean, this brochure. And the great bit about it is, so you've got the three models in here, and then there's the Racing Green, but you've also got a fantastic feature about the John Cooper conversion kits. These cars are really special. These early John Cooper conversions are really special and really quite rare nowadays. So really pleased to get that as well. I just keep that, actually with the car come the original John Cooper conversions catalogue, which again is very, very nice, and all the tuning instructions as well. So that's a couple of nice bits of memorabilia I've managed to pick up. I also have, now this is not original. So this is a John Cooper conversion plaque. I took it to a jeweller's with the one off my Sport 5, and I got them to match the same sort of font and spacing on the number on there. So it's pretty close to what was on there originally. However, the jeweller did say it was a specific name of a machine that it was engraved with, and he couldn't, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's not stamped because you see many of them that are stamped and the plate's deformed. It's actually a type of engraving machine that's used. So I've got that. Now these are, you can buy these on eBay. They're a little bit misleading because when you read the advert, it does sound like you're buying a new old stock plaque. It describes it as rare and unused. But when you start looking, these are just a copy. Yeah, they're just a copy. I also have the conversion certificate. That is a copy, that is not an original, but it's nice to have anyway. The good thing about this car, what makes it, what's really, really important is I've got the original receipt from John Cooper Garages with the right conversion number there. So things like this, although they're copies, I do have the original receipt to back it all up, which is fantastic. I'm not actually sure whether they actually come with floor plates. Yeah, I don't know. And you would have seen in my, I put a community post asking about the stickers on the side of the racing green. So I bought these on eBay one evening after a few drinks. These are silver and white. Now, everywhere I can see, the decals should be gold. Is it gold and white or gold and black? But they are gold, they're not silver and white. So I'm not sure why they're the wrong colour, but the ones I originally got, they were much too big. The font on them was too large. So I went back to the vendor and they remade them in the correct size. But I did order them in silver and white, so I can't really complain about that. I don't know whether some did come in silver and white. There's a set on eBay at the moment. Lakeland Minis are selling them. And they're the original Rover decals, but I'm sure they're silver and white. I'll try and put a picture up somewhere showing, but I'm sure they're silver and white. Now, the other bit, I am super, super excited about this. Paul Jeffries put me onto this, so thanks, Paul. Bear with me. I need to go and get what we've got next, but this is really, really important. Really important feature of the car. So I have managed to buy a set of 4 Mistral Mod 12x5 wheels. Now these are the wheels that John Cooper's used for the tuning packs in the late 80s, early 90s. They are different from the Rover Mini Lights. The stud spacing on them is much like an RSP wheel, where the wheel nut holes are in line with the spokes. But the wheel itself is actually different from a Rover wheel in that the centre cap is protruding out a little bit more. I've not checked the offset yet, but these wheels are just in amazing condition. These have not been refurbished. When I spoke to the guy selling them, he said they were fitted on a show car or something like that, and it was only ever really used for photos and then taken off again. I think this one actually is probably the worst wheel out the lot. Now these wheels should be old English white, so although they are in pretty good condition, they're going to be sent away and they're going to be fully refurbished. They'll be stripped, sandblasted and powder coated in old English white. I think I use a company called Curved, who I got to do P.Al's wheels on the Sport 5. Mark has used them a few times as well. They're a really great company. So those are the bits, like I say, really excited. It's really great to get some of these bits together for the car. Yeah, it just adds to the history. They're nice things to have. And the car actually has done its first show, so you might have seen, so I took it down to Minis on the Wreck, which is Brighton Mini Club show, and it actually had the other larger decals on it at the time. So, but I've got the right decals for it now, or the correct size ones anyway. And I will be doing another show in it, I think. There is Minis by the Sea, which is down in Worthing on Stain Gardens. That's in early September. So I think I'll try and do the same there with taking all 3 Minis down. We'll see how it goes. So I'm sure my father-in-law will be dead excited because that means he gets to drive P.L. again. So, right, I think let's just get into this week's video and get some more work done on the racing green. Thanks for tuning in. Right, check this out. So I'm in the back here. I've just got the back seats out just to give them the same sort of clean up. All needs hoovering in here. But look in the corner of this door card here. It has been eaten. So there has been mice or a mouse in here. Yeah, and let me show you the back of the seat in a moment. What you will also notice, there's lots of screws going through the rear bulkhead here. 6x9s on the back there. That's going to give something away. Let's have a look in the boot. So there we go, we've got a couple of big amplifiers in there. It's had a big install in it sometimes. 6x9s in the back. Huge, great big, is that a 10 or a 12? Not sure. Big subwoofer in there. All of that's coming out. And the rear seat squab, there's the back piece there. This is all full leather. I've been very lucky. So I've got a bit of the stitching's coming apart there, but should be able to get that repaired. But look at this, again, the mice have been at the seat itself. Luckily, they've not come right round the back, so none of that is visible, which is great news, to be honest. Right, so that's our rear door card. Bit annoying that, but by sheer chance, I bought with a job lot of other bits a while ago a set of door cards. Ta-da! I've got the same set, so I go in a bin, stick that in. Superb. Right, I've got a bit carried away cleaning up those rear seats, and I ended up taking out all the stereo equipment just because it doesn't work. It's a massive lot of weight to be carrying around. There's one bit missing, the graphic equaliser. I took that out a couple of weeks ago. The head unit doesn't work. I couldn't get it to work. Checked all the fuses and everything, so I just gave up on it. And when I started seeing like the subwoofer and the rubber, they're just completely and utterly shot to bits, those speakers. The amplifiers might be okay though, so I will probably connect those amplifiers up, power them up and see if they're working. Now back in the day that would have been a quite nice little setup. He had this amplifier, which is it's just a 2-channel amp, but no, it's 4-channel, but it's pretty hefty. He had this wired, so it was just running the low pass filter, just running that sub. So I don't know what wattage that'll be, and he had this running the 6x9s. So yeah, it would have been a pretty good setup in the day. But it's heavy, all of this stuff. I'll tell you what I'll do, just for giggles. Let me grab the scales out and see how much weight we've just taken out of the car. Get in the comments down the bottom. Have a guess. How much do you reckon all of this lot weighs? I'm gonna have a guess. I don't reckon it's that bad. I'm gonna say 21.5 kilos. Let's get the scales, let's find out. Oh, they're KFC HQs, high quality. They would have been expensive. And that sub is huge. It's a W12. So it's a 12-inch free air sub. It's definitely free air now, that's for sure. Right, so while we've got all the carpets out, it is a good opportunity to have a look at the floor. Now, I did know it wasn't nice down in the corner here. So we've got a repair on the inner sill there. And if we lift back the carpet here, you can see the corner of that floor pan. It's not holed, it's probably been plated from underneath, but it doesn't look that pretty. Now the worst bit on the whole car, I reckon, or one of the worst bits, is this toe board. So, and I did sort of spot this when I was cleaning that, when I looked at it originally. So that's a subframe mount there. Can you see that massive, great big crack there? And it's been plated in here at least once before. That is because the subframe is all solid mounted. And unfortunately, that is what it can do. Once it starts moving around, it just cracks the floor. So that's a pretty major repair. I I think when it comes to it, when we strip it down over the winter, I'll be taking the front subframe out. Yeah, with the front subframe out, it's not a problem, to be honest. With the front subframe in, that would be pretty tricky to repair. But I think that's salvageable. I think we can do something with that. But the rest of it, this has never been welded back here. Those rear corners look okay, but it's always a bit deceiving until you get underneath and have a look. You don't really know. Let's go around that other side and have a look. So round here, let's have a look at the subframe mounting this side, and it looks okay, but there's scorch marks there. It's been welded from the other side again, I reckon. So yeah, there's some plates down here. It's been plated in the corner there. There's a patch there. Usual mini stuff, nothing too scary. And then in the back there in the corners again looks all right. Do not know what's gone on there, but it's got a massive dent in the rear door bin. But for the moment, we're going to carry on using it because it's usable. Right then, how close were you? 18.8 kilos.
Everything that brought me alive, going wrong like nonsense, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. It took my innocence without an alibi. Everything that brought me alive, going wrong like nonsense, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi.